Hello there everybody and welcome back to Resident Evil HD. Last video we went down into the Aqua Ring and we got our gallery key. So using this key we're going to be able to get into the rest of the rooms in the residence, and we should be finished in this area relatively quickly. I don't know that we'll be able to finish it up in this video, but if not, then definitely in the next video. I'm also keeping my inventory relatively empty at this point. I just have my shotgun with me for those just-in-case type situations. I have the gallery key, which we're going to be using shortly, and I have my red book. We picked up that red book earlier on, and it's been living in our item box for a little while, but it's coming to the point now where we are going to be using that. So I pretty much have most of my inventory emptied, so I don't have to make a bunch of trips back to my item box. A couple of goodies to pick up in here. There's a handgun magazine and 2 red herbs if you have the space for it. But my main concern at the moment is to examine this corpse here and to pick up the insecticide spray, because there is a gigantic beehive in this area. There are bees flying around and they are really a giant nuisance that I don't really want to deal with at the moment. So we're going to dispose of those guys first. And then once we've done that, we'll be pretty much free of any threat. We got our map over top of this hole here, and I told you not to look in because that is where the beehive is. So instead of looking, we're going to pump the insecticide spray into the hole and effectively kill all of the bees. Now that was one massive hive, so hopefully that one shot did it. Let's go take a look. It looks like we're bee free, which is great. There is a red herb if you want to pick that up, but the most important thing here to pick up is the residence key. That is our final key, and this will open room number 3, which is actually right over here. So let's go ahead and open this up right away and then get rid of the key. So in here there are some ink ribbons that you can pick up. If you want to, you can come into the bathroom. There's not really anything in here that's worth getting. There is a dagger in the tub, but we're playing on easy, so I'm not sure if that will be on other difficulties or not. So if you're not wanting to explore every room in the mansion, or you're doing a timed run, you can completely skip this room if you'd like. Just thought I would pick that up though for my own sake, because I like things to be as complete as possible. There is a typewriter in this room you can use your ink ribbons on if you'd like. And there is a white book on this shelf that sticks out like a sore thumb. So let's take that and let's read the Organic Chemistry Lab experiment. Talking about the plants infected by the T virus once again. We learned that a chemical in the UMB family, UMB number 20, contains a compound that is toxic to the cells of the plant. We have given UMB number 20 a new name, V-Jolt. If calculations prove correct, when V-Jolt is applied directly to the root of the plant, the entire plant should be dead within 5 seconds. The V-Jolt can be made by simply mixing the VP and UMB chemicals in a specific ratio. However, extra care must be taken when handling these UMB chemicals. They have been known to generate toxic gases if mishandled. The characteristics of each UMB chemical are as follows, and this basically just has a color and number chart that go along with it in order to come to the V-Jolt solution. So we are going to be creating V-Jolt as Jill, because you're only able to do it as Jill. If you're playing as Chris, it's not possible. And it makes this next part we're going to be doing much easier. For now though, we're going to put that red book in place of the white book, and we're going to be solving a simple puzzle. We basically just have to reorder the spines of these books in order to create the picture, which is this woman lying nude on the beach. So once you've done that, the bookcase will slide and we'll be able to have access to the door. Now, do not go through this door if you want to create the V-Jolt. If you don't want to create the V-Jolt and you want to just go ahead and fight the boss, then by all means do so. But we're not going to be doing that right now. We're going to go ahead and we are going to make our V-Jolt solution. And how we're going to do that is through some science. So there's this door here with a keypad, and this is when our oil lamp puzzle comes in handy. Remember earlier on, we had written down the number of eyelashes on each eyeball, which color the lamp was, and then when we went upstairs, we had also wrote down the number of the pool balls that were on the billiards table. So this is when this comes in handy. Our first lamp was red, and that had 0 eyelashes. And the number on the pool ball is what number you want to input onto the keypad. So that was 3. Orange had number 5 on the pool ball, and then finally green had number 6. And if you do that correctly, you'll have access to the store. And if you don't remember that puzzle, it's very easy to go back to your billiards room and look at it again just to make sure that you've got it correctly done. In this room here, we have a couple of chemical compounds, and we have some empty bottles as well. Now, there are 4 bottles in this room, but you only really need 3 of them in order to complete the puzzle. I'm going to pick up 4, though, because I have the extra inventory space, and because once you've picked up those 4 bottles, it makes the room complete. We can take a look at the writing on the wall here, and this is actually going to be the simple addition that we're going to need to do in order to come to number 20, which is going to be V-Jolt. So combining different chemicals, we will be able to come to the V-Jolt solution. So water is worth 1. This red chemical is worth 3, and the yellow is worth 6. So the first was 1 plus 3. So we'll take the red and the water and we will combine it to make compound number 4. You can look at this writing as many times as you'd like to figure out this puzzle. 4 plus 6. We'll combine those together. I think we need water for the next one. It was 1 plus something. I forget what it said. 1 plus 6 to get 7. So again, get some more yellow. Combine those 2 together. We now have 10 and 7. So we will combine these 2 to get 17. And now all we have to do is add a number 3 to the solution in order to get 20. And 20 was the magical number that is V-Jolt. So there we go. Once you've combined them all correctly, you have your V-Jolt solution. So some pretty simple addition there. Not too bad of a puzzle. A little bit more involved than some of the other ones, just because there are so many different chemicals that you work with. But now that we have our V-Jolt solution, all we have to do now is find plant 42. And it was mentioned in one of the memos that it's rooted itself in the basement. So we are going to have to go back to the aqua ring for this. I wonder if my friend Mr. Crimson Head is here. No? Yes? Oh god, I knew it! I knew it! I knew that bastard was gonna come back to life. Whew, okay, well good thing I had my shotgun. Otherwise I would have been in trouble, because this is a very small room. And he is a very big and very angry monster. So now, down in the Aqua Ring, what we're going to need to do is go all the way back to the first room that we came into, where we had first seen the sharks. Because we have unflooded the entire area, and that area has a little bit more accessibility for us now. There's a door there that we weren't able to get to when it was flooded. And because we've picked up all of the items in this area, and we've also taken care of all the sharks, we are really in absolutely no danger. So we could pretty much go through here with relative ease. And if you do have some free inventory slots and didn't have a chance to pick up some items on your first trip, then this is a really good opportunity to do so now. Because this is going to be our final time coming into the Aqua Ring. We won't have to come back here ever again after this point. So here we are. There is a door here. You can take a look on your map to see where it is. And this is going to be where our big nasty plant 42 is hiding. You can see it here. So go up to it and go ahead and use the V-Jolt solution on it. And just like the memo stated, it pretty much killed the plant in 5 seconds, so that's fantastic. We can then throw away those bottles. We won't need them for anything ever again, which will clear up 3 or 4 slots in your inventory. And with that, we are pretty much free to exit the residence. We can go back to that door that was revealed by the bookcase. We can get our final key and get the hell out of here. So if you are playing as Chris, you don't have to do that sequence because Chris is not good at science. If you go into that room with the chemicals and you try to do it, Chris will basically just say, I don't really know what these are, I'm not going to mess with them. So I really like Jill's campaign for this whole aspect just because it's a little bit more added on and it gives you a lot more options. If you want to fight our upcoming boss, you totally can, but if you don't want to fight it, you can do an additional puzzle and a little bit more running around in order to avoid it completely, which I think is really neat. Now, if you are doing a speed run or something, I think it's probably better to just go ahead and fight the boss. But this boss is a pain in the ass. I've fought it as Chris, because of course as Chris you're forced to, and it's really just a huge pain in the neck. Being able to avoid it is sort of like a godsend. I really, really like that, so. Anywho, say goodbye to the Aqua Ring. We will never be back here. And now we can head back. There's a couple of items in here that I haven't picked up yet. I think it's just the red herbs that I had left behind that I'm going to pick up quickly before we move on here, because I think that this is the only room that I haven't picked up everything yet. So I'd like to just pick up all the items while I can, clear out the residence while we're here, before we say goodbye. Because like I said, I like to have things as complete as possible. I really like looking at my map and seeing all of those big, beautiful green squares on it. Alright, Plant 42, I'm ready for you. You didn't like that V-Jolt solution, did you? So you can see it shrivels up a little bit here due to the chemicals. But oh no! It's angry! Attack of the killer plants!
What the hell is this thing?
Barry!
Jill!
Thanks, Barry. Third time you saved my life.
I thought it was finished.
Yeah.
That was close. Thanks again.
Don't mention it. But what was that? What the hell's going on in this place?
Yeah, so another reason I like doing that whole sequence with the V-Jolt is because Barry totally comes and saves your ass again. Again, proving that although he's pretty shifty, he's also very, very useful. Thanks, Barry.
Barry.
Something about that mansion still bothers me. But I think I'll stay here a little longer. We should split up again and investigate.
All right.
Sure, yeah, let's split up, because that's working real well for us. Oh well, whatever. All that we really came for was our final mansion key. Can you believe that the very last key that we need was all the way out here? We had to put a hell of a lot of effort in to get this key, which turns out to be our helmet key. So with that, we are now able to go back to the mansion, and we'll also be able to finish up in the mansion. That is going to unlock pretty much any door that we haven't already unlocked at this point. So yeah, now we can say goodbye to the residents. It's been fun. We've cleared out all of the rooms in here. We did everything that there was to do. We finally killed that pesky plant 42, and we are now ready to move on.
Wesker.
Jill, so you're safe.
That's what I was going to say.
I apologize. It was all I could do to protect myself against those strange creatures.
I understand. Anyway, it's good that you're safe.
Did you notice? Barry, he sounded a little flaky.
Now that you mention it, yeah. I'll keep a close eye.
Maybe it's quite natural under these circumstances. It's not really our standard operation. Jill, our first priority is to get out of here.
I agree.
There are still rooms in that mansion we can't get into because they're locked up. I've been looking for ways to...
Okay, if there's anything, I'll go back to the other mansion.
I'm counting on you.
Hey, Wesker! Wow, I completely forgot all about him. We haven't seen Wesker since we first left him in the beginning of the friggin' game, so I guess it's good to see that he's still alive in any case. And now that we've taken care of Plant 42, we can freely walk across the floor, because before, if you had tried to do that, Plant 42 would grab you, and you would get damaged, so... Hooray! Good times all around! Barry saved us, we killed the plant, Wesker's still alive, and we now have our final key, so I'm gonna end off on a good note here, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.